Hey everyone, welcome back. I don't have much of an update today really on the bus, except for the fact that I did add some little pieces of sheet styrene to it to make some compartment doors. I added one on each side back here for access to the engine, and then a couple more right here for access for whatever. We made a little bracket up here to hold one of my 888 lights that I'm working on. I'm in the process of working on that, chroming it, and get it to sit on there. It'll sit on the front like that. It will have a clear lens in it. But what I wanted to show you guys today was this horn that I have been working on, that I made out of some pieces of styrene. It's basically the kit of bugle, the trumpet end from one of these American and France kits. I'll show you right here. Here's a kit. And this is from an Aero Chief, but they're all the same. I'm using the front bugle portion, but we're not using this other chrome kit part because it looks rather ridiculous. If you can compare the back side of that to what we have on this, that looks much better. And then what I'm going to attempt to do is show you guys what I did to make this. So first off, we get our styrene out here. We've got some 3/32 tubing, some 3/64 rod, and some 5/32 tubing. So I kind of went ahead and started working on this one. This is the 3/32 tube, which will be used for the bugle of the horn. Here's the kit piece in my right hand, and as you can see, these will glue right together and fit perfectly. I drilled a couple of holes in this to accept the 3/32 or the 3/64 rod, which is going to be our mounting places right here. I made two little plates and drilled some holes in them so that when I do glue these together or get these glued onto the top of the cab, they'll have a good mounting location. They're nice and straight, and I think they'll look pretty good up there. But let's get on to showing you how I made this. So I cut these two pieces. Let me make sure I'm on camera here. I'm not very good at tutorials. Of the 3/32 tubing. I cut both of them to the same length. See if I can get that on camera. They're both the same length or thereabouts. Then I'm going to take a piece of the 3/32 tube, or I'm sorry, the 5/32 tubing right here, and we're going to stick it around that. You see how these all slide together. Now you're going to take another little short piece of the 3/64 rod. That goes inside this one. Okay, so you want something about like that. Then you're going to take the 5/32 tubing and slide that guy up And then we're going to take a drop of glue and stick it over the whole thing. Want the all three pieces to be glued together. Okay, just like that. I'm going to take my other one out here before this completely sets up and make sure my eyeballed measurements are going to be about the same. And I'm talking the back side to back side right here for the trumpet. Our length is pretty close. Now you see this distance right here. All we're going to do now is, after that glue sets up, is I'm going to sand that off at an angle and just kind of round it out. And it works great to make an air horn, air trumpet, whatever these guys call these things. You know, it looks a lot more realistic than what comes in the kit supplied parts. See if I can get that to focus on there. And all it is 3 little pieces of styrene tubing and styrene rod. And like I said, once this dries, once all this sets up real good, I'll nip that piece off that's sticking out. But I will take a rough sanding stick and put that on there at an angle and just start running it back and forth all the way around it at a nice angle, and then I'll start rounding it off. And once I achieve the same shape that I have here, you know, we should have a matching set of air horns for this bus. Now I won't do that on camera because this will probably have to set for at least, I don't know, I'll let it set at least 30 minutes before I start grinding on it and sanding it so things don't move and get all screwed up. But another thing I'm working on is, whoops, I just knocked that off. I'm working on making some windshield wipers for this guy. Let me see if I got 2 of them sitting here. Now these are just basically roughed out right now. And once these, I'm going to add some more glue to them, to the joint right here, and start rounding some edges off, probably tomorrow. But I will come in here and trim this little piece of rod up. Again, I'm using the 3/64 rod and the small little piece of the 3/32 tubing. That's the rod on top, that's the tubing around it. And once I get that all knocked out into place, the windshield wiper will get glued right on top of it, just like that. But I still have some more work to do to these. And we have one for each side. See if you can see if that's getting on there all right. But these, the part for the blade is a 20 by 20, and then the piece for the windshield wiper rod is a 30 by 30. Once these get all rounded off and reshaped a little bit, they get some paint detail, black on one side, silver on the other, or aluminum. You know, these will look good, and these are, I mean, so simple to make. It literally took me 10 seconds to cut them. And then I laid them out on the table here so that I could get both of them the same to make sure that they were the same lengths. And they'll go on the model just about like that. So don't be afraid to look at your parts, make new parts. Where'd my other horn go? Let's see if I can grab it up here. You know, this only took me maybe 10 minutes to figure out the parts that I wanted to use. And, you know, it took about a half hour for the glue to set. But once everything sets up, I mean, it's fine. You just stick it in there, put it in your holes, and there you go. I mean, we've got a really good looking horn now for the top of this bus. And of course, you'll have to level it up straight once it gets glued into place. But we've got our beacon light that we made for it. That will go right here. And we got the siren speakers will be stuck right here. So we'll have a full complement to go on top of that roof. So we made the mirrors, the brackets, the windshield wipers, the horns, this little bracket right here for our Mars light to go on front of it. Let's see if I can do this without dropping it on the floor, and I can't, but you get the idea. It'll be up there soon enough. So again, it's real easy to actually scratch build parts. I mean, you can make just about anything out of this styrene. I mean, all you have to do is look at it, envision it in your head, and just go for it. I mean, this styrene is cheap, and if it doesn't look right, throw it away and start all over. I mean, that's all you got to do. But I think these horns will be a big improvement than the kit parts. And as you can see, I took all my little side light housings off because I wasn't quite happy with the shape I had of them, and I had one that was kind of not level. So I went back through and block sanded all this out today, and we've got her super smooth. I wanted to sand up that trim too that I put on there the other day. We got doors on both sides. So it's coming along. We're making some good headway with it. And then I wanted to make these air horns for it. So yeah, just real simple pieces of styrene, and go for it. It's not that hard to do. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Thank you to all my subscribers and everybody that's been following along. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.